Okay, Mazar TCG here, and we have some League of Legends Riftbound updates. First, we have this big article posted by Dave and the Riot and Riftbound team. So they're addressing some of the controversies. First, they're starting off talking about how excited everybody is with the launch. I'm gonna give you the spark notes here, and then they go in right into the rare redemptions, the issue where packs have less than two rares. So their solution here is submit an inquiry to UVS Games via this form. What they're asking you to do is basically take a picture of the barcode. Also, they're limiting it to 3 per person and 6 per household, which I mean is understandable. They can only do so much. Me personally, I don't know how much I really want to do this because I have at least 3 packs I've opened up on video that were wrong, incorrect, and didn't have the 2 rares. So to have to take a screenshot or a picture of those, and I don't know if I got the barcode on the back exactly, so I might just fill out this form and say that I had 3 that were incorrect, but I'm not going to send in any pictures, and like I already put the cards away throughout the wrappers, so I mean that's my plan, but I would suggest that everybody that can do this should do this. Next, they're talking about the cutting card edges here. So their reasoning for this was that the card stock or the paper that they decided to choose was a premium, a little bit thicker than some of the other ones they could have chosen. And they say that this meant a lower percentage of no, okay, they're saying here. So this caused more wear than anticipated on the facility's cutting tools. What a lot of people were saying here, that the blades were not sharp enough. So that's confirmed true there. And then they say this means that a low percentage of cards have rougher edges than they should. I don't know if it's a low percentage. I would say it's a substantial percentage. However, showcase cards including alt art and overnumbers are not impacted. I would say are very slightly impacted. I have seen, I don't know if I've seen alt art or overnumbers, but I have seen some of the legend cards and definitely the rare. So maybe this is true. We have made changes to the card cutting process to mitigate this issue for Spirit Forge and future sets. That is good to hear. So we'll come back to this where they're talking about they've mitigated this issue for Spirit Forge a little bit lower when they say something else here. So they're talking about the shipping delays here. Me personally, I didn't have any issues with this because I wasn't able to order from the Riot website on the first wave. So sorry to you guys who have been affected by this, but they are tracking towards finishing shipping all Riftbound orders. They just ask for some patience. And then this is where it gets pretty interesting too here. They're talking about we want everyone who wants to play Riftbound to be able to get their hands on the game and be able to play. We hope Riftbound will be popular, but the excitement and the demand greatly surpassed our wildest expectations. Well, I could have told you that. In fact, I made some videos on that, but that's okay. I mean, it's a big IP, and a lot of people are new coming to it, and the market's hot right now. So they want to try and make it easier for players to get their hands on things. They're talking about especially MSRP. I don't think MSRP is going to happen for a while. Maybe not ever for certain products. Just I don't think they have the print demand or the print capability. So they have a couple fixes on the horizon. And this is where it gets really interesting. So they are talking about, adding additional supply and potentially reprints to help out the market level, but they have not really confirmed anything. They're talking about, well, they do mention towards the end of the year, products will be arriving to local game stores between now and the end of the year. But that was a little bit to be expected because, I mean, if we were to stop printing Riftbound right now, then it would be crazy. Like people are already running out in stores. Like the stores I went to yesterday, there were only 2 that had singles, and then the ones with boxes were, they were down to like 2 boxes or less. Okay, so they also heard about the desire for Proving Ground cards. We'll go over Proving Grounds here soon too, but that is something that has a lot of people upset right now. And so they say, in support of the launch for Spirit Forge, we will be adding many of our Proving Ground cards, including Legends, Champions, and Signatures, into promo packs available at Nexus Nights that will allow players more access to them. So this is really interesting right here. Are they talking about the Legends, Champions, and signature cards just from Proving Grounds? Because there are no signature cards in Proving Grounds. So are they talking about adding those, or are these signature cards from Origins? This is something that I would want clarification on, unless I'm missing something and you guys see something else. As far as I was aware, that the signatures would only be in the Origins set. So on top of all this, all of these cards are going to be that promo style, I believe, with the better foiling. So, I mean, I don't know if that's going to necessarily help their problem with the Proving Grounds being so expensive. I'm sure it will a little bit, but then these cards are just going to be really expensive because if they're foiled better, if they have the promo stamp on the bottom, be a little bit more rare. I think this has been an interesting response. I'm not so sure that it's what everybody who wanted more product and to bring prices down wanted to hear. Because if we go over to the Reddit, the Riftbound Reddit here, we're now over 104k summoners, so this has been growing like crazy. Probably a double in the summoners in this in the past like month or two. The first comment down here is, I hope this is an additional to the Proving Grounds reprint. This comment says this is their solution to not having a Proving Grounds reprint. I do believe that Proving Grounds will be reprinted. I don't know how much. If it's as much as they printed the first time, well, it's not going to do much, but I do think they will print more. I do not think any of this stuff is ever, honestly, I want to say it's never getting to MSRP. The only time you're ever going to find this at MSRP is if you stumble into a Walmart or Target and they just have it for sale there and you're like the first 10 people in there. Or if you go to one of your local game stores and you play in an event and they want to give it to you for MSRP after that. That's how I think it's going to be. But I could be wrong. So this person says it's a massive tell that they not only don't have more coming, but can't ramp production to go back. Supply issues may be worse than we thought. So I kind of agree with the second thought here. I do think that they don't have the capability to produce a maximum amount of supply like how Pokemon can. But I do think that they will try and reprint some of this stuff. I also forgot to mention here that we've determined the rare distribution issue will still be happening in Spirit Forge booster packs. So they said they fixed the cutting machines and the blades for Spirit Forged, but they did not fix the rarity distribution in time. So I am a little concerned that the fuzziness on the edges of the cards might also be there. Why could they fix that but not this part? Maybe what they're saying is true, but I have my concerns about that. All right, now let's go to some prices here. We are steadily climbing to pretty much all-time highs on booster display boxes right now. We have listings here at $279, $264, $280. Not very many, just a couple of each. See if we go to page 2 here, what it looks like. So yeah, there's some here. You got 8 here at $297. So I could see it being below 300 for a while. Let's go over to the Proving Ground set. This one is literally taking off like a rocket ship. I don't know if that's because people were reading that post and saying, hey, they aren't printing Proving Grounds. I don't know why this one is getting pumped so much. I understand that Master Yi is in there and Annie, and both of them have actually been doing surprisingly well, especially the Annie. So you get a lot of product with this too. I mean, you get basically 4 starter decks in a way. So I can understand the appeal to this, but I am not touching this, not going anywhere near this. All the cards in it, none of them are, there are no over number cards, there are no signature cards, so, but this is what they need to print. They need to print more of this. So I wanted to do a little bit of a comparison between the booster pack prices for League of Legends right now. So we can see that right when the game launched, we went down to about $10 a pack, and that is $5 above MSRP, obviously. And now it's steadily climbing again, so we're about that $13 to $14 range here if you want to buy just a single pack. Getting pretty pricey. I know a lot of people are gonna say that's outrageous and that's crazy, which I think it is very high. But I think this product kind of draws the line between like your basic standard cards, maybe in like how a Pokemon pack is, and then it has a little bit of that collectability side too, with like a premium collection in Magic. So we're gonna take a look at some of these other products and compare their booster pack prices for cards. So if we look at Mega Evolutions right here, Pokemon, the newest set, Origins is more expensive than that. Here you can buy some for about $7.50, maybe $8, whereas Origins were $13-14 a pack. If we go to Prismatic, the crazy, the thing that brought everybody back to Pokemon kinda and set the world on fire, is down to $7.80 a pack. If we look over the last 6 months, they have steadily been declining. So obviously right now Origins is, it just came out and it's the new hot thing, so it's going to be overhyped. But compared to Prismatic right now, it's a big gap, almost doubling up. So here we have the Spider-Man Play booster packs. Obviously these do not compare to the collector packs because they don't have the same hits, but these are $4.99. At one point they were $10-11. Pretty dramatic drop here, down in the $4 to $5 range. And then if we look at the Spider-Man collector packs, these are $37. So obviously these are going to be more than the Riftbound Origin packs, but I think somewhere in between this price and some of these like play packs, I think Riftbound is going to be more expensive than Pokemon packs. I just think the value you get out of the cards, having two rares and the hit rates, it just feels better to open Origins booster packs, and I'm assuming it's going to be the same for Spirit Forge. To kind of end up here, we should be getting some news on Spirit Forge soon. So today there was some Chinese teasers for stuff here, and you can see whatever this means here. They have kind of a map and a calendar going out here for what we're going to be looking for Spirit Forge. So we will keep an eye out for that, and as soon as we get some news on that, I will update you guys. So let me know if you think that these pack prices and the cost to get into Riftbound now is getting too high, or is it actually a good value for what you're getting? I mean, when I open Riftbound product, I don't mind it being more expensive than Pokemon because I feel like I'm getting more things I like, better cards. I just think the game's better. So I don't mind there being a little bit of a premium, but at a certain point, some people might worry about it killing the game and the community, stopping people from getting into it. So thanks for watching and have a good day.